high vibrational flow. That's what this is.
Yeah.
How can we possibly interact and not be in high vibrational flow?
It's not. I don't think we've ever interacted and not been in high vibrational. Blah, blah.
No,
That it's not going to come out.
We need to get in like a little rift. We need to have a fight or something, take the vibe down so it can come back up.
Yeah, no. No. But what happens when you and I'm always excited when it's stream time, because I get to exit out of everything and I'm just like, yeah, let's talk about that.
Yeah.
So interesting thing, relationships right now, David. Relationships are challenging for everybody.
Well, I think everything's challenging because we're going through this interesting vibrational flow. Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Stream of David Live. We are aware that we're online. We just decided to just continue our chat and go live on Facebook before they booted us off the platform. And hello to YouTube. I know there's some people watching on YouTube. So hi to all of you as well in YouTube world. This is the fabulous Debbie G to my left.
Hey, hi everybody, what's up?
And I see familiar people saying hello. So if you're signing on, say hello. Tell us where you are. If you are new, tell us if you're new too. It's always good to know if we have new people on, so we can skip the introduction and the explanation of all this. If we don't need to do it, it's fine. We'll roll right into channeling the stream in a minute. Hi, Terry, and Denise, and Luke, and Susan. And Facebook user. Until you register on this thing, you show up on our end as Facebook user sometimes. So we don't see everybody unless you've been on before and you kind of set you got to do something with StreamYard, right? You're my tech professional, Debbie. What do you have to do with StreamYard to get your name to show up?
It's in the comment section of the actual feed that or not the comment section, the description. There's a little thing you can click, a little link you can click, and then it'll show up. I do believe. You guys start typing your questions. Start typing those questions.
Carrie is on, and Luke is in Ocala, Florida. I'm assuming visiting family. Luke, good to see you on here. Always good to see you. Don't forget to book your stream session, Luke. So, Luke, we gave away a free stream session at our Taya Bootcamp reunion, which you came on. We had over 40 people on there at one point. People were kind of coming and going because it was 2 hours. And we gave away a free stream session, and Luke was the lucky winner of the free stream session. And then we gave goodie bags away for everybody that was on coaching sessions with myself and Stacy, half-hour coaching sessions for everybody that attended. So that was cool.
Oh, wait a minute. I got a coaching session coming? Oh, boy.
Yeah, you have a goodie bag coming. Carrie is in charge of the goodie bags. So if I were in charge, we would probably never see them because I just wouldn't remember to do it. But Carrie will remember to do it. So that'll be cool. That was a lot of fun to get everybody together, and it was good to see you on there as always. And Debbie has a lot of exciting things coming up.
I do.
What you want to share and what you don't, so I'll just leave it at that. But a lot of exciting things coming up, a lot of exciting things going on at Spirituality Gone Wild. If you're not watching on Spirituality Gone Wild, check out Spirituality Gone Wild.
Check out Spirituality Gone Wild. You guys, you're going to have to hang out. David, you're going to have to beam me down for a minute. I just realized I didn't grab my charger. Apologize, everybody. I will be back.
I will stay here and I'll just chat. At least you're not doing this while I'm channeling, because that's always a little confusing when you.
Yeah, then it'd just be dead and it just wouldn't do anything. I just now went.
Well, the stream will just keep talking. They'll keep talking until midnight if you allow them to just keep going.
Would you want to be okay? Here, I'll be right back.
So hi to everybody signing on. Debbie will be back in a moment. If you have not watched this show before, if you're new, let us know that you're new. Let us know where you are. It's always helpful to do that. If you have not seen this show before, my name is David Strickle. I channel a stream of consciousness that I call the stream, known as the Stream of David. Just about anywhere and everywhere that you would go, you can just Google the Stream of David and see everything that's out there. And I am a channel, and I am what you might call a trance channel, where I sort of step back in consciousness and allow the stream to flow. My head doesn't spin, or I don't sprout horns or anything like that. But the information that comes forth is really interesting. You can get answers to lots and lots of questions. We have been talking a lot lately about vibrational flow, and Debbie and I were just talking about the process of creating a business and how she has worked so hard, and things are really starting to blossom now. But it took a lot of iterations of businesses to get here. And it took a lot of ups and downs in the current business to arrive here. And that is the universal process of creation. When people start learning about, creating your own reality, very often they race to, I want this right now. Somebody was on a live I was doing yesterday, and I remember it was a teenager that wanted to manifest a $100,000 car right now with no money and no help from parents. They want a $100,000 car right now. And going deeper into understanding the universal process of creation, how it actually serves us to create better and better and better versions of whatever it is that we're creating in our lives, really helps you understand the law of attraction. Because just saying that you're going to quote unquote use the law of attraction to create something, we all have success stories regarding that, and we all have stories where we were not successful regarding that. And that's because of this thing called polarity and vibrational flow, which is all about creating a bigger and better manifestation of the things that are very important to us, which also means us being really ready for that manifestation. Because, a teenager in their first car wanting a $100,000 car might seem like a good idea, but there's probably a whole lot of other things that come along with that maybe that person's not really ready for. So going much, much deeper into understanding the creative process, whatever your version of abundance is. And it is not always about money and material things. I always like to say that. Abundance is what you want to experience in your life. It's not necessarily money and material things. It can be money and material things. Source is not judging any of our behavior, so they're not judging our desires. We have to remember that judgment is a human thing, and we're all judgmental, but we can detune that and not be as judgmental. And it's very helpful in your life when you learn to detune that stuff.
Totally agree. I agree wholeheartedly. This has been, ups and downs, and everybody's experiencing it right now. Everyone's got shifts, and something's up,
Yeah, vibrational flow is picking up, and we all feel it. I think everybody feels it. And some people aren't really tuned in to understanding vibration and ups and downs, and don't have a meditation practice. People are going insane right now. They're just going nuts about a lot of things, about politics, about COVID, and just in general behaviors and friendships or fracturing. All kinds of stuff's going on. It's actually an exciting time if you really delve deep into what's really happening. Right. But even I'm flowing through this with ease, but at the same time, I had trouble sleeping last night. I have a little headache today. There's things that aren't flowing the way that I want them to. And I'm just trying to back off, zoom out, just appreciate the process, and make sure that I'm just having fun most of the time.
That's kind of it right there. There's so many spinning parts to this creation of spiritualitygonewild.com and integrating your work, David, and in all of it. And it's just like, I'm at that point now where I'm like, I started going into stressy thing, and I'm like, yeah, I'm not doing that. That's first off, that's down the spiral, and I'm not doing it. And I recognize it, and I'm like, no, wait a minute. I can shift this. And what it is that it's this thing, that this old thought pattern that I have to do this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and this. The only timeline I have is the one that's in front of me. If COVID hasn't shown anybody anything, at least that the life is precious. You only have right now. And so by learning these tools with Taya, you get to start appreciating that at a different level. And that's kind of the key. But when you're doing things like what we're doing, and that's what that's what all this is about. So you can do these things that you want to do. But it's another way there's just a better way to do it they're both good. One's going to get you there faster than the other. It's your choice.
Yeah. Well, the universal process of creation is simply high vibration. We are manifesting the things that we desire. We're trusting our abundance. We're believing our dreams. Things are flowing that we want. Vibration drops. We start doubting. We start fearing. We start canceling that stuff out, slowing it down a little bit. And if we stay down long enough, we will manifest some obstacles. We're going to manifest some things that we don't want. But we all do that. It's vibrational flow, which is the universal process of creation. And in my opinion, from everything that I have taught and learned, In my many years understanding this stuff. I understood law of attraction. My first recollection of law of attraction was in the early 70s. I don't scare you because you're my age, but
no, was that
70s? They had law of attraction back then. They had books back then.
I was just thinking we had okay. Yeah, we had Wayne Dyer, but we also had the law of you guys. This goes back. Let's get real.
Well, yeah, thinking were written in the 1940s. People have understood this forever, really.
Try 1916. Try 1916. You guys can see this. If you go to Genevieve Burhand and you read some of the stuff that she wrote about the law of attraction, these are the books that The Secret came from. Just so y'all know that out of the bag. Secret!
Well, none of it's new. None of this stuff is new. The universal laws are the universal laws.
Yeah.
And, the stream has been asked what existed before the universe. Talk about stumping the stream. Nothing was the answer to that. So
nothing.
A different version of it was the actual answer to that. But the process of creation has been from always, right? It hasn't changed. The process of creation is the law of attraction, but it's highly impacted by vibrational flow. That's why we're not all just sitting around attracting everything that we want all the time. So you can't really dive into understanding law of attraction without also diving into spirituality. It's sort of like these people that meditate, but they're atheists. They don't believe there's anything beyond themselves, and they meditate, and they can't really tell you why they're meditating. They don't understand source connection and stuff like that. But there are people like that.
I know some people like that, and it's perfectly beautiful. Like everything.
Yeah, because they're getting benefit from it, whether they believe in what we believe in or not. Just like people that are, assigning a belief system to a religion.
Yeah.
Really, people can be served by that. There's no one size fits all in this world. And it's certainly not just the stream's teachings. Although I have found the stream's teachings to be highly effective, so much so that we've created a practice around it. And we talk about that on here all the time. But we don't have to dive too deep into that tonight. You can ask any question that you want. It doesn't matter. There's nothing that's off limits. The only limitation in what you'll receive is my intellect and vocabulary, which is limited. But I have never seen the stream get stumped.
No.
Have you ever seen? You've hosted the stream.
I'm sharing, guys. I'm not being rude.
I was going to say, if you would like this video wherever you're watching it, like it, share it. That would be much appreciated, because the more people are interacting here, the higher the vibe will go.
Yes. And I love sharing, and so that's what I'm over here doing, you guys, because today I could already feel it coming. I feel it coming. You guys, we've got some really good guidance on its way. So get those questions typed. Topic, Terry, anything that's on your mind, anything that's on your heart tonight. What is it that you really want to explore on a deeper level? What questions do you have that you honestly you don't even know who to ask? Ask them here. Everything's welcome. I will get to all of them as I see them come on. So get them posted so that I can get them all ready. David is going to David what the come from?
My new name is David
David is going to go into channel, and after he goes into meditation, and seriously go into this gorgeous space and this energy, and we help him with that. It's really fun. It's a great experience. And just for those of you that don't know what channeling is, it's just simply David's learned to allow himself to go over to the side. It's like a deep state of meditation, except you talk. It takes practice. Any of these gifts take practice. Actually, practice.
When I started doing it, it wasn't like it is today. It was it was a lot more formal and rough and slow. Now they flow a lot faster. It's a lot like me, but it's not me. I think you can tell that it's not me. And it's far wiser than I am. So it's helpful to bring them in. As much fun as it is to be here, I can step aside and let them flow. And what we ask you to do at this time is to meditate with us. We talked about the special edition is raising our vibration. We're in a stream that is picking up intensity right now. We all feel that. Do you all feel that? Type yes, type no. Are you feeling this sort of faster moving stream? Do you notice that people are not really knowing how to react to this necessarily, and it's causing these quick vibrational shifts that are definitely causing some disruption of things? Really what I see is a lot of expansion, even if people are not really understanding that it's expansion in the moment. So many things that seem like obstacles, that seem dire in our lives, if we're really in lower vibrational state of fear, those things are really giving birth, if you will, to new creation, because we flow through these things, we solve these things, we evolve because of these things, and in doing so, we expand. And that's why we're invisible in the first place. So that's a big part of the stream's teachings. I see questions rolling in now, so I'm going to bring the stream in. Let's all take a moment to be quiet together. I'm just going to do a little bit of breath work, and I'm going to set an intention for the stream to come in. It's easy to call them in these days. They're very at their own speed dial, if you will. And you can all do the same. You can all quiet your mind, set an intention to have a fantastic interaction with the stream, to get your questions answered, whether you ask them or not. But it is very helpful to type them in nonetheless, so that we have something to kind of get the ball rolling. Be right back in the stream. We are here.
Wonderful. This is a grand opportunity to spend this time with you. First question I have is, it seems that most people I am just meeting today that are seeking me, or that I seem to come in contact with, are just waking up, if you will, or since COVID have just came to an awareness that things are different. And I'm also noticing that they're advancing rapidly. But what would you say to those? Because there's so many out there that are just now coming to the awareness that it is an expansion and an awakening.
The more work, if you will, we say work because shifting your belief system to detune fear and judgment, that is a very, very, very powerful process. And when you are experiencing something new and you are fearing it, and through your fear perhaps judging it, it is scary to you because of this expansion. You're experiencing things that you didn't experience before, and you are tuning into different teachers and different ideas, and perhaps some are stating that it's somehow negative or evil or destructive to be tuning into such things, or that the world is nearing the end of time and things of this nature. We guide you to detune fear always, and look back at your lives. Those of you that have knocked around in your bodies for a few decades, look at your history and realize that there have been times where things were a bit scary for you, and you essentially pushed through that fear and allowed your vibration to go back up, and you solved whatever it was that was causing the fear. You moved through it, you evolved, you grew as a result of having experienced it. That is what we call the universal process of creation, and you are all in it. And so collectively, we speak of this often, that you are all coming together now like you have never come together before. This is one of the reasons that we are flowing through, David, the way that we do, is humanity is calling up this energy, if you will. Humanity is questioning. Humanity is elevating their consciousness to a level that is beyond your fear-based teachings that have held humanity in a certain state for a long period of time in earthly years. And this state has been a state of control, of fear-based control. And you are all breaking free from that now. And as you break free from it, notice that there are some that want to instill yet more fear to try to get things back under control. But the ship has sailed at this point. You have all elevated your vibration collectively, and humanity is not going to go back to where you have been before. You are expansive beings on a journey of evolution. And this journey of evolution is causing the disruption of certain things, and will likely cause the continued disruption of certain institutions of control. You may not see them completely dissipate in an instant, but you're going to see the continued fracturing of things such as politics, organized religion, and things of this nature that you are all questioning. And in your collective questioning, you are creating a set of circumstances on your planet that is disruptive. Hence the pandemic, hence the political climate that is highly polarized. All of these things are signs of this ascension, but you are all not ascending at the same rate. But you will see that more and more and more human beings are waking up. For lack of a better term, we understand that phrase is used very widely and is sometimes understood differently. And the waking up process, or the awakening process, is essentially coming to understand that you are the creator of your reality, and that you are all eternal beings, and that there is nothing truly to fear going on in your world. And as you detune and release that fear, and you detune judgment, we are saying detune, not eradicate, your lives transition significantly. You go through an awakening process. The elements of fear that have controlled your behavior for a very long time simply fall away. And you are not allowing yourselves to be controlled as you perhaps once were, and certainly not as a collective consciousness. So more and more human beings are coming to understand that. And that is essentially because you have created all of this magnificent technology where you can all come together in mediums such as this and communicate like never before. That is causing the ascension, and the ascension is causing the disruption, and the disruption is causing some things that can instill fear. But for those of you who are willing to move past the fear, you become more enlightened regarding your true nature.
Beautiful. Please type in the chat how that the messages are resonating with you, please. Luke has a great question, and it is, why is it so much easier to connect with the stream while meditating in nature than it is for meditating at home?
Notice that when you are in your home environment, your home environment is also very often carrying the vibration of a work environment, whether you are performing business or a job in your home, or your job is taking care of yourself or your family, cooking and cleaning and answering emails and performing tasks. There is a strong vibration of activity. So even if you are looking to get away and you rent another home across town, you can essentially give yourselves a vacation experience without moving much distance. This is the same for your stream connection. You go out into nature where all of those distractions are no longer present, where that vibration of having to get things done, of responsibility, the stack of bills that's waiting on your desk, perhaps things of that nature are not present. Your vibration is naturally going to increase, and when your vibration goes up, your connection to us flows.
Beautiful. Let me know how that sits with you there, Luke. Thank you. Denise, I think we kind of covered this, but I'll go ahead and say the question. What does the stream have to say about this particular time in human history, and how is humanity doing with the universal shifts at this time?
You are all doing exactly what you should be doing. There is no right or wrong or judgment from us whatsoever. The journey that you're on individually and of course collectively is your own collective manifestation, and your bubble of reality is your individual manifestation, your co-creative experience with the collective consciousness of humanity, and the co-creative experience with the energetic realm where we reside.
Mm-hmm.
It is all your creation. So whatever twists and turn is manifested is perfection, because it all serves expansion. So a twist and turn down what you would call an unwanted path that creates obstacles, those obstacles ultimately inspire new creation in the solving of them, and you expand with new creation. So you are expanding your being by manifesting and overcoming obstacles, which is why you come to physical in the first place. It's why physical exists, for that very essential task of expansion, the universal expansion of energy that is expanded, not necessarily created, but expanded, becoming more and more sophisticated in the creation and the overcoming of obstacles. The creation of obstacles is what you would consider a natural occurrence. Of course, everything is by design in the universe. The things that you consider organic and natural are universally designed things. They are not nuts and bolts things, such as human creation, but they are far more sophisticated than that, including your planet and everything on it. It is all designed creation, and that design creation is a self-contained ecosystem, self-sustaining, and part of the sustainment is in the vibrational flow, ensuring that there's always going to be a mix of positive and negative, wanted and unwanted conditions. As an eternal strand of source consciousness, you are projecting yourselves here in the path of contrast, meaning positive and negative, things that you prefer and things that you do not. And the things that you do not prefer serve the great purpose of inspiring you toward new creation. That is expansion.
Beautiful. Love this so much. Please continue to let us know how it's going. So Michelle says, could you speak to some of the personal experiences, physical and emotional effects of the upcoming alignment with the current building of energy?
It all depends on how you flow with it. Remember that your physical body is a filtration system. A filtration system for vibration, a filtration system for what you eat, a filtration system for the things that you encounter, the sights, the sounds, the smells, the temperature, all of it. And anything that can be absorbed and experienced can be filtered through, and it can be quite harmonious. When you find yourselves in a disruptive physical state, pain or illness, discomfort, distraction, any of these things that are created from the not allowing of the filtration system to perform its job. When you are not allowing of something that you desire, when you are stressed, when you are fearful, when you are operating in a lower vibrational state, your bodies tend to tense up and hold on to things as opposed to filtering them out or filtering them through. That applies to everything in your environment. You are a filter. So when you are doubting or fearing or worrying about, you are holding on to that energy as opposed to releasing it. So if you are flowing through this time of increased vibration, of increased velocity of vibration, and you are enjoying the ride, and you are not fearful about what's next, and you are enjoying your expansion, and you are looking for things to appreciate and be joyful about in every day, then you are operating at an optimal level, and you are not offering any resistance to anything. So there is no vibration that your planet is going to encounter that your physical apparatus cannot be in alignment with, truly. So it is all about your reaction to what's going on around you. And so when you are absorbing the teachings of one that is telling you that there is this ascension happening and all of these things are going to transpire as a result, and it's going to be very difficult, you will create that situation for yourselves if you believe it. But if you turn inward to your own inner guidance and you release fear and you release judgment around all of that, you are going to have a very positive experience. The ascension experience without resistance is a magical awakening experience. And you have all co-created a version of that for humanity. And you're all in it.
Wonderful. Okay, so Terry says we need guidance to handle the second wave of the pandemic.
The idea of these waves and all of these things, the more you dive into the ideas around all of this and give power to the fear that is created around it, the more you are going to create that experience for yourselves. We are not guiding you to completely ignore what is going on around you. We are simply guiding you not to be fearful about it. If you are so guided to take wise precautions and do the things that your professionals, your healthcare professionals are telling you to do, your scientists are telling you to do, and you're doing it knowing that that is going to make you okay, and you're going with the flow of that, that is the situation that you're going to manifest. If you are listening to these things and racing down your spiral in fear, you're going to manifest something of like nature to that. Always. So the guidance is to go with the flow of what humanity is co-creating as a collective consciousness and appreciate the ride. When you are guided to take care of yourselves, take care of yourselves, but not from a place of fear, from a place of knowing that you are flowing and that you are healthy and that your well-being is all about your trust and your belief in the universal process of creation and belief in your worthiness of it.
Thank you. This is an interesting question. Is the way humans experience time changing? Because I've noticed that I literally just make the intention for time to just slow down and everything just kind of slows down. And it's not that I think it's my perception that changes, but what is that we're experiencing here?
You all create your bubbles of reality more than perhaps you even understand. Energy shifts, energy expands, energy and vibration become more sophisticated, and you align with that new level of sophistication, and you are a new being in that alignment. And the recollection of how you were before very often is not even available to you anymore as you ascend. And as you begin to, for lack of a better term, bend time, we use these big phrases sometimes in David's vocabulary, but you are all bending time always. You can do your own case studies to prove this to yourselves. There are days when you are in high vibrational alignment and you are excited and you get far more done than in a day when you are lethargic and in lower energy. You can create a list for yourself and never get finished with that list. Whereas in a higher vibrational state, you can get through with the list and go spend an hour in meditation afterward. You create time for yourselves. You believe that you have these mechanisms that control time and show you what time it is, and they do not change, and they are scientific and they are exact. But your bubble of reality is your bubble of reality, and your time span, your concept of time is your own creation. There are human beings that believe that life moves very, very slow, and there are human beings that believe it is flying by in an instant. It is all perspective. Everything that you are perceiving as a physical being is your perception of it. And you can magically shift your perception to one that serves your expansion more by understanding that you are in control of your reality, and then taking that responsibility both forward and backward in your reality, meaning everything that's ever happened in your life experience up until what you are perceiving as your now is your responsibility. And by responsibility, we mean that it is your recollection, it is in your memory, it lives on in consciousness. Therefore, you hold the power to shift that consciousness to something that serves you at a higher level. Looking back and understanding how all of the things that perhaps you recount as negative things and failures and things of that nature can be looked upon very differently, and the entire vibration shifted, and your entire now experience shifting as a result of that. You all hold the power to do these things. You are just coming to understand how much you truly create your realities.
Whew. How's that sitting, guys? That's pretty darn good stuff. And I see a lot of you are really, really resonating with this message today, and I love that. So, okay, we're going to go into a longer question, and it's from Alex Robles. I have a friend or / roommate who struggles with his anger, fear, and insecurities. When something goes wrong, his emotional responses are over the top, and his bad mood makes it hard to be in close proximity with him. He projects his negative emotions very well, and from his bedroom. I can hear him yelling at his computer or speaking negatively to himself. I know being low on the spiral is creating lots of good things for him vibrationally, but sometimes it's hard to appreciate the I'm imagining that you are having a hard time appreciating the experience or the person. And that I think what I'm hearing you ask here is how do you deal with this energy of this negative person in your house?
Understand that anything that you are experiencing is your manifestation. It is your co-creative experience. So if you are encountering another being that you are finding bothersome in some way, your finding them bothersome is exactly what is keeping that active in your life experience. So we very much understand that there is a time frame where you have attracted this and you are experiencing it, and you're in this negative cycle of them behaving in such a way that you find distasteful and that is disruptive in your life experience. The way to disrupt that in a positive way is to find a path of appreciation for them as they are, not needing them to change. You've all noted very likely that it is impossible to change another who is not interested in changing. And you may be doing vibrational work and raising your vibration and meditating and doing the things to be in alignment with the things that you desire. And you feel that this person has somehow been thrust upon you that is dragging you back down your spiral. But that is your co-creation as well. The good news regarding that is detuning them is as simple as finding appreciation for them, even when they are acting up in such a way that is disruptive to you. Understand that that is your creation for some reason, and finding appreciation for them, regardless of whether you're finding the reason instantaneously or not, will deliver you from that. Because your being annoyed by it is holding you in that pattern. So you work on your vibration through appreciation of all that is, and understand that that is going to solve the problem for you in its own unique way, meaning the relationship will dissipate or something will happen. You can literally change the behavior of other beings. And those of you that have delved into the Taya practice that we have delivered for all who are ready for it have understood the power of changing the behavior of other people around you. You can, via your appreciation of them. We refer to this as detuning. You can detune your transgressors, any unwanted person, circumstance, or event, by finding appreciation for it and learning to find appreciation for things, even when you're not fully understanding how they're serving your expansion. But once you find that appreciation and you move through that experience and the negative aspects of it fall away, and they indeed will, you will then see how that served your expansion. This is a tool that you are developing for yourself in this instance. And if you choose to acquire this tool, that individual will have led you to acquire this powerful tool that you will then take and use for the rest of your lives. We are not in the business of predicting your futures for you, but we just gave you a prediction that will absolutely come true if you allow it to.
Wonderful. Susan Key says, I'm an empath and I feel like I've been struggling spiritually lately and I kind of feel stuck. I believe I have a gift of manifesting. I believe I have done this before. What can I do to strengthen my manifestation process, my intentions, my spiritual gifts? Which way do I do that and where do I start?
It is very often that those of you who are allowing your empathic abilities to flow, and certainly you're not a one-size-fits-all being, so you all have different levels of different abilities. You are all channels on some level, yet you are not all channeling the way that you are experiencing David channeling now. The empath ability, the ability to tap into the vibration of another, very often causes these types of issues until you train yourself to release the judgment around the information that you are receiving. And we do not necessarily mean the judgment of what the other is thinking or doing, but the judgment of it as bad or negative, that they are ill, that there is something wrong with them, that there's a problem that must be solved, that they are in turmoil, that you wish to deliver them from their turmoil, you wish to heal them in some way. Coming to understand that all healing is self-healing, and that there are certainly individuals who possess a talent for guiding other individuals to their own healing. If you are an empath and you are labeling yourself as such and you are delving into doing this type of work, the less you judge what you are absorbing from others, the more positive and powerful your experience is going to become, the more effective you're going to be. Notice that a very successful physician very often seems unempathetic. That is because if they absorbed the painful feelings of all of their patients, they would have little to nothing to offer to their patients. You are the same as that. You must become more disconnected from the judgment of what you're absorbing as something that is negative or bad or something that you do not want for them. And understand that you're detuning the judgment of it allows you to manage your own vibration at a higher level, which actually gives you more power to offer other people naturally, without having to necessarily get specifically your hands in the clay and do that work. Your own high vibration is offering a great deal of positive to humanity. And as far as manifesting goes, you all improve your ability to manifest the things that you desire by cleaning up your vibration, i.e. releasing your transgressor energy through the detuning process that we have detailed. Meditating, finding things to appreciate every day, setting powerful intentions throughout your day for just joy, just well-being, understanding that being joyful and appreciative and being in that higher vibrational state will automatically deliver positive results, as opposed to sitting and trying to meditate and conjure things into being. The reason that the idea of conjuring things into being, especially the things that you really, really, really want, the new business, the more money, the satisfying relationship, these things that you think you need to be happy. The reason that those are so difficult is that you are trying to conjure these things and you are visiting these topics over and over and over again, yet your vibration is going through this up and down flow that you are all very aware of. And when your vibration is high, the things that you want are coming right to you. But you revisit this important topic through vibrational flow. So the vibrational drops a bit and you revisit the topic and it doesn't seem as plausible. You start to question, you start to doubt, you start to fear. And that very thing that you were manifesting when you were up here is now moving away from you. You're chasing it away. And if you allow that vibration to continue to drop, and then you wallow in that low vibration of self-pity and victimhood and fighting it and trying to claw your way back up your spiral and knowing that you're not supposed to be down there, all of that is only holding you there. When you allow yourselves to move with grace and ease through the natural vibrational flow of the universe, appreciating the down as much as the up, you find yourselves raising your default vibration, releasing the transgressor energy, finding things to appreciate, meditating, loving yourselves more. All of these things combined comprise the Taya practice, and you are all capable to start these tools as soon as right now and start implementing this as your new way of being, and understanding that step by step by step, you are going to raise your vibration. And you may not even notice it in a day-to-day basis until you move through a little bit of time and look back and realize that your life is completely transformed as a result, and it will.
That's for sure. That is for sure. And in fact, I want to say thank you to Nicole Henry. The Taya tools have absolutely helped me with manifestation. I am such a fan of boot camp. I agree. Big fans of boot camp. Let's take a look here. And all right. They want to know about the vaccination. There's a vaccination for the pandemic that everybody's kind of up in arms about.
Understand that there is no the perceived polarity that this is right and that is wrong. There is none of that. There is no one size fits all for your world. We will state, and it's very important that you understand this, everything holds the power that you give to it. If you are giving power to the vaccine will be powerful for you. If you are fearful of the vaccine will deliver something to be fearful about for you. Everything holds the power that you give to it. The ones that are out spreading fear around the vaccine, a vaccine that has recently been manifested, are fearful of what could be, but they do not know because it has not yet been manifested for humanity. You have not expanded in that space yet. And the ones that are believing they do not need the vaccine, you are creating your reality. It is completely up to you. If partaking in the vaccine makes you feel protected, then you are doing everything within your power to protect yourself. That is why there's never going to be a this is the answer and this is not the answer, because you're all in individual paths. It is truly what you can honestly bring yourselves to believe, not what you speak. These affirmations that many of you love so much only hold the power that you truly assign to them. If you were standing in the mirror speaking words every morning and not truly embodying them and believing them, you are essentially wasting your time. It is all about shifting the belief system, whether you speak it or think it or just be it. The isness of it is where the magic is. Understand that your belief system trumps everything. And you got history to prove this. That there are those who are vaccinated that get sick anyway, and there are those who are vaccinated that never get sick. And there are those who are vaccinated that have an allergic reaction to the vaccination. It is all possible. But if you set your intention toward the best possible outcome and release fear and judgment from the equation, get your clarity on what you truly want, discern your preference, and take action from there, from an inspired space, and discern your own preference.
Wonderful. And I'm so glad to see everybody is really getting a lot out of this, and this is wonderful. So what about our third eye? This question is there any merit to the opening of the third eye? And if so, how do we go about that?
The process is different for all of you, just depending on what your journey has been so far. The understanding that your imagination is a very powerful creative tool. Very often when human beings discover teachings such as this, and they sit and try to meditate, and they sit and try to allow a source connection, they sit and try to channel, they sit and try to do these things, to feel their chakra alignment, all of these things, understanding that conjuring that reality through your imagination is your most powerful creative tool. If the idea of a third eye awakening resonates with you, it is something that we would guide you to explore. If it's something that you think is ridiculous, then it's not something for you to explore at this time. And unless your exploration of it will bring you to a higher understanding of it, and then you give it the power by using your imagination to imagine that process. But also understand that your journey is uniquely yours. Your makeup of all that you are and all that you have experienced beyond this lifetime make you a unique strand of consciousness. In this case, expressing yourself as a human being in a very temporary way, but a very expansive way. Regardless of how you operate your human life experience, you are going to expand as a result of being here and doing this. But those of you that are sort of at the forefront of thought, we are not trying to assign judgment to that of anyone who is not, but those who are delving into these things as you're moving through what you may call your awakening process, that are delving into the idea of having this mental connection to the energetic realm. Of course you do. Of course you have a mental connection. Your entire body has a connection to the energetic realm. The energetic realm is all around you. You're in it. You are expressing yourselves as physical, but it is a perception of physical. Your true self is an eternal self, a self of consciousness, non-physical. Physical expressions are experiences that you all create for yourselves. And when you're in them, you think they're very real. So we will always go back to, this is very real for you at this time. And all other things and places are not as relevant. Because at this time, you are expressing yourselves as human beings. You are of Earth. And being of Earth and the collective consciousness of Earth and the collective consciousness of humanity on Earth, that is the ecosystem that you are experiencing. We will always guide you back to that every single time, and understand that your connection to the energetic realm is a natural connection that is always there. There's nothing that you really need to do to allow that connection. In fact, the reason that you're not fully realizing that connection is that many of you have been taught that it's not there, that it's not real, that it's something in the sky, that it's something that is external from you. And in all of those teachings, take your creative power away from you and cause you to behave the way that you're told to behave. But those of you that are awakening are coming to understand that you do not have to behave in any way that pleases anyone else other than you. You get to behave how you want to behave. There's no getting this life experience wrong. And the more you detune fear and judgment, and the more you allow of a magical experience here on earth as a being twisting and turning through these different experiences that you're manifesting for yourselves, and you're manifesting all of them and expanding in the process and understanding there's no getting it wrong. Not one of you are going to die and return to your completed state and look back at your human life experience and say that you got it wrong, regardless of how you're judging yourselves now, regardless of how you're judging each other now. There is no getting it wrong. The junkie that dies in the gutter of a drug overdose is having an expansive experience as much as the one that spends their lives feeding the homeless. Truly, we are not judging that. All of that judgment is human creation. So when you detune judgment, and we very much love the term detune. You are not going to eradicate all of your human qualities, but you can tune them down, and you can allow your soul consciousness to tune up, and you can bring these things more in alignment, more in balance, and you can understand how your ego serves your expansion, but to a point, and how your soul consciousness serves your expansion, but to a point, because your soul consciousness is not a human ego consciousness. So therefore, it is not 100% useful in a physical human environment. You need your ego consciousness, but you perhaps don't need so much of it. If it's causing you to be an egomaniac, or if it's causing you to run on fear, there's some detuning work that will bring these things into balance. And when you bring them into balance, you are having what many of you call the awakening experience. And it is our promise to you that is available to all of you at all times.
Okay, beautiful. It looks to me like I don't see any more questions at this point. What about any last words for everybody as we close out?
We will always guide all who interact with this message to listen to it a few times, because a lot of information is imparted in truly very few words. And all of the keys to the universe are contained in our message, but they're also contained in all of you. We will be the first to tell you that if our words are not resonating with you, you're right to move on from them. This is not a one-size-fits-all environment. No environment is. And our teachings are not for everyone. But for those of you with whom these words resonate, we have offered tools. We have offered teachings. We have offered enough information already in just a few years' time in David's sharing of our message to serve humanity for thousands of years. If they resonate. But if you are standing in fear, if you are standing in judgment, these concepts can be hard to wrap your mind around. This is why we will repeat over and over and over again: detune fear, detune judgment, zoom out to a higher perspective that is available to all of you. You all have your own version of this flowing to you. But very often interacting with our message allows that to step forward in you. That is why it feels good for many of you to come and interact with us the way that you do, to hear these words spoken by David. You are connected to our energy in those moments. But it's also important to understand that you can take that vibration into your personal experience, whether you are interacting with us directly or not, and allow your version of this to flow to you, and come back and interact more, or interact with others who are experiencing something of like nature. Your lives are not about finding every single answer to every single question and resting on that. You're all expansive beings. At your highest vibration, you're curious, you're exploring, you're trying things out, you're allowing yourselves to dip into lower vibration and go through what many of you assign as the failure process, or the process of experiencing obstacles. And those who truly fail are the ones that stop there with a step one reaction of fear or anger or envy or something of that nature, and go right back to where they were before and stay in this loop, perhaps for their entire lives. But that does not have to be. You can move through whatever obstacles you're creating for yourselves. Whatever quote unquote failure is always temporary. You can move through that period. And when you learn to meet those times in appreciation, rather than fear or anger or envy. Learn to meet those in appreciation and understand that that appreciation of the obstacle will automatically raise your vibration. And when you raise your vibration, the things that seem insolvable, the things that seem like perhaps the end of that which you are, when you're down there, suddenly are solvable. Very often solve themselves. All the solutions are in high vibration. You're not going to hold yourselves there at all times. There's value in the low vibration. But meeting that obstacle in joy, flowing through that lower vibrational period with grace and ease, and flowing right back up will solve everything. That is our promise to you. Much love. That is all we have.
That was good, right, guys? That was great.
Forgot that was sparkling water. That was a little bit of a shock. I was like, whoa.
So while he's coming too, I have to tell you guys something super exciting. Aquarian Age Media is coming. I just had to throw it out there.
That's okay.
That was so much. It is. I'm just like so excited about that. They're here at the. You guys, this was a good show. If you're just popping in right now, please go back and watch this from the beginning, because a lot of things were covered that are going to be, if put into practice, are going to seriously help you maneuver what's happening in your life right now.
I'm reading the comments. I need my glasses to do that. The stream sees much better than I do.
Oh my God, that's funny. Jiminy.
Their vision is perfect. They're perfect now.
Right?
They don't need to read. You're there to do that. So thank you, Debbie. Thank you so much, Debbie, for the questions. I can tell this was a fantastic interaction.
It was super.
Thank you all so much for joining, asking your questions. I'm sure everything got answered. And if you're watching this in the future, thanks for watching in the future or the past.
Or future, past. What if it's all the same?
It is. It is. I was in a meeting today with the Thai Mastery folks, and we had a group. It was really weird. We had a good weird. Of course, all weird is good weird, right? We had a group deja vu, where we were in a moment where, I don't know if it was every one of us, but most of us realized that we had been in that moment before.
Uh-huh.
That's so cool. That's so cool. That's what deja vu is. You're aligning with something that has happened before, and it's all happened before. It's all happening into infinity, but you've lined up where the event that is taking place is exactly as it was at another timestamp, if you will.
Right.
And you remember it, but you don't know why you remember it. This scene, I felt like I've been here before, but I haven't been here before. Why is that? Because you have. Because there is no real linear time. We are encountering life that way, but it's just a perception of ours. And it's cool that we perceive it that way. We're humans and we're limited to that, and it's okay. But I love deja vu because it's just one of those little signs, like numbers lining up. You know, we see 111 all day long on the clock and stuff like that. It's just those little signs from the universe that there is so much more going on than just this. And then you go turn the news on and the vibration can drop because, you know, it's all fear and BS. But if it causes your vibration to drop, turn it off. It's as simple as that.
Yep.
So whatever, I have a little trick that I do. I always say when something starts to trigger, I say, is this worth me going down my spiral over? And 10 times out of 10, I say no. I used to say 9 times out of 10, and I realized I never say yes. I've never said yes. It's 10 times out of 10. That'd be crazy. So yeah, 10 times out of 10, I say no, it's not worth going down my spiral over. I move on to something else. I don't care what it is, because there's so many things in our society that are designed to grab you. And very often it's grabbing you through fear. Pay attention to this, read this headline, dive into this, click here, or else. And then you do it, and boom, you're down your spiral. Nothing worth going down your spiral over.
Nothing. Ever.
All right. I know you've got to run, as do I. Thank you all so much for joining. We are here every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Pacific. Wherever you're watching us, we're there every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Pacific. And primarily Spirituality Gone Wild. Debbie's joint. If you're not a member of Spirituality Going Wild, go check that out. If you're interested in the Taya practice, I have this fancy little banner thing that I always forget to put up. If you're interested in the Taya practice, go to thestreamofdavid.com/Taya, TYA. There's some people in here that are graduates of our Taya Bootcamp program. They can tell you all about that. But go check out the Taya practice. We teach it all over the place. Bootcamp's a special place, but I love to share this with everybody all over the world. And it's changed lots and lots and lots of lives at this point. And it's a really, really cool thing to get into. So check out the Taya practice.
And say that I sent you, and you'll get an extra session. Just book your discovery session. Let them know I sent you, and then buy the program because you need it. And then let them know, and then you get an extra session, which is going to be really helpful.
You can still book your session through that website right now. We're about to change it where you've got to go through the masterclass and then book your session. But we send you a link to the masterclass anyway when you book that. You just need to take it within 24 hours of your session. Masterclass is cool. It teaches you all about Taya, so it answers a whole lot of questions so that we can really kind of just get into your vibe and what's going on with you when you get into the session with me. So there you go. There you go.
I got it.
Thank you so much for joining, Debbie. Thanks again. Have a lovely evening. I will see you soon.
Bye, everybody.